What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 55. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, as usual, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. We're definitely going to go over Pocket Dimension, do a quick recap on that. Was it a fun game mode? How do we feel largely about it? Was it good? Do we think it was too challenging, etc.? We're going to discuss that here in this video. We also do have the Silver Surfer Blitz that's going to be showing up on Thursday here. But I wanted to talk about a larger issue that I'm seeing in Marvel Strike Force, and it is character availability. Characters are just not available quick enough. And I'm going to talk about a few things that I think that they could do to make some changes where that is concerned. We also got some information on Avengers Tower from the blog post on Friday. Did they capture all of our feedback? Did they actually make the changes that we want to see them make? Or are there still some things that are missing? How do we feel largely about the updates that will be coming to Avengers Tower? That and so much more, guys, to discuss on the weekly headliner update. And we're going to start right now. All right, guys, welcome back. And the first topic I want to talk about this week here is the Pocket Dimension, and kind of just go through a quick recap here. Now, largely for me, I thought this was a fun game mode, and I gathered from the community that they also thought this was largely a fun game mode as well. Now, the reason why for me it was fun is because I was able to use one of my favorite characters in the game, which was Star-Lord. And I used Star-Lord quite a bit in the beginning part of the game for me years ago, really kind of a long time ago, but don't really get to use them as much anymore. So through the first 7 nodes, I tried my very best not to use either Cersei or Omega Red. I just tried to use them as least as possible. So I used Star-Lord, Misty Knight, Multiple Man, Spider-Man Miles, and then Shuri. And they were able to get me through, like I said, the first 7 nodes. Once we got to node 8, node 9, I had to pop in Cersei for node 8 and node 9, and then we got to node number 10, I had to pop in Omega Red because I wanted to one-shot every node. I didn't want to two-tap any node, but I heard players had a lot of success, even without Omega Red, being able to use some of these other characters like Magic and Storm. I heard Magic and Storm was crazy together. The charges built up on Storm, being able to yeet characters on turn 1 with her ultimate ability, and then of course with her special also being able to get that AoE stun was also really impactful. Some players said that Yondu was really good in there too. So listen, man, it was definitely possible without Omega Red, and that's good to hear. I think the last node though, if you didn't have Omega Red, you kind of had to 2-tap it. Was my understanding is that you still had to 2-tap that last node, no 10, without having Omega Red there, but still largely possible without having Omega Red in those nodes. So now, of course, last 2 nodes though, node 9 and node 10, I will say this now, gear tier 13 or 14 if you want to be able to get through it. If you don't have them there built up, it's really not going to be, you're not going to have an exciting fun time really, even from node 8 from node 8 on. You really need gear tier 13 and gear tier 14 characters in order to be able to get through it. But other things, I mean, really good rewards too. Fully crafted teal gear, other gear that you needed for your roster too, also really good. And like I said, I mean, good large fun event. Now, one of the hiccups, number 1, was that the thing kept on crashing in the very beginning, so a lot of players were able to really get into it. And then there was also some poor communication, which did kind of tick off some of the earlier players, right? So thanks, Scopely. This was actually a Reddit post that was posted on that Friday. Like, thanks, Scopely. I had no idea my Resolute Tunes needed to be level 65 because the blog post said commander level, not character level, right? So went into Pocket Dimension, tried to get into it, realized that, dude, I can't even get into this right now because my characters aren't at level 65. Now, Scopely did acknowledge this. Boundless Entertainment, they did acknowledge this. It's another in-game mail and said, regarding Pocket Dimension, there was an unspecified character requirement. Hey, we screwed up. We said it was supposed to be commander level 65. It's actually character level 65. Sorry, here's some compensation. The compensation was 2 gold orbs, which, if you ask me, not enough. Not enough. Straight up, not enough, man. At a bare minimum, right, you could get 150k from each one of those gold orbs, which means that you could end up only getting 300k from those gold orbs. It takes, for me to bring a character from level 60 to level 65, you gotta spend at least 700k gold just to be able to get the levels up. And then if you want to equip gear, right, going from 10 to gear tier 12, you're going to spend a little bit more gold in order to be able to do so. So the compensation wasn't enough. I like that they acknowledged it, but the compensation, in my opinion, was not enough as well. And if we're tying in this too, like Pocket Dimension also being tied into you getting character shards for Scarlet Spider, also was a bad feel. Now, Scarlet Spider's event, that is going to be ending this week, right? We got a timer on that right now. We got 4 days and 5 hours from now, from when I'm recording this video to when this is going to be, when the event is going to be held, ending for the new Heights milestone for Scarlet Spider. So obviously, to maximize and get the most shards, you have to do Pocket Dimension, finish Pocket Dimension, and then also do the new Heights milestone. But the new Heights milestone was just not long enough. There wasn't enough in it. I think that they should have ran this milestone twice, not just ran it once. Ran it once for 7 days, ran it a second time for 7 days, or at least put in some ranked rewards, right? Like how they did for the Icarus event. If they had thrown in some rank rewards where if you were able to spend more trading mats, then you were able to climb up the ladder, right? Get more points in there and then be able to do it. So this, like I said, missed opportunity in my opinion. A lot of players have had this milestone done since pretty much the onset of the event. So I think largely, in my opinion, a missed opportunity by them by not having this at least run twice, or at least having rank rewards, solely having just New Heights milestone, Pocket Dimension, being able to get shard, and some players not even going to be able to get through Pocket Dimension because they don't have certain characters available to them. It kind of feels bad where that is concerned. But let's move on to the next topic here. I wanted to talk about legendary. So we do have a legendary that's going to be returning this week. The legendary character that's returning this week is going to be Invisible Woman. Now, Invisible Woman is just in that place right now. She's not being used a lot. Now, there are some end game players that will have Invisible Woman built up for because they use them for Dark Dimension 4. I had her at Gear Tier 14s. Once again, one of my favorite characters in the game, so I actually invested into her a little bit more, and I should actually use her in Dark Dimension 2 as well to get through some of the content there. But there's really no place in the game much right now for Invisible Woman. I think it's probably time where she's probably the next permanent legendary character, right? I just really don't see. Star-Lord's already permanent, so is Nick Fury, so is Iron Man. I think Magneto and Invisible Woman probably should be the next permanent legendary characters. Now, we do know that some of these older legendaries still will probably hold some place in the game because of this new mythic legendary path that they've bestowed upon us, right? So we know that now Nick Fury is a part of a legendary unlock. We know now Jubilee's a part of a legendary, even though she's a little legendary. It's most likely going to be just time, right, before Invisible Woman, Star-Lord, Magneto probably become a part of some mythic legendary unlock requirement as well. So we're probably going to see that. But I would like to see some of these legendary characters get reworks. I had so much fun using Star-Lord this past weekend, and I mean, it was short-lived, right? So would like to see him get a rework. We'd like to see some of these older legendaries get reworked and become a little bit more useful in the game, because I mean, after all, they are legendary characters, so we'd like to see that. But wanted to also point this out as well. So in MSF.gg, this was something that I saw over this past weekend. Shout out to whoever actually pointed me to this initially. But if you go to MSF.gg and you click on the character section and you click on legendary events, this drop down and click on legendary events, you can actually see all the legendary character events here. So you got Adam Warlock, you got Black Bolt, you got Doc Ock, and with all these legendary events, it will show you all the eligible characters. If you click on that event, it will then bring you and show you all the requirements and the recommendations that you need and things like that. So I think this is actually really useful. If you're a new player coming into Marvel Strike Force, this is actually really helpful information. Definitely make sure that you use MSF.gg. It's phenomenal. Pim Toxie, Ty J, you guys are doing the Lord's work by doing this stuff. No, seriously, really, really good work. Thank you for doing this. But wanted to point this out because I think this is actually really important for a lot of players. All right, next topic I wanted to talk about was Blitz. We had the Ghost Spider Blitz that came back around this past weekend. And yeah, a lot of the numbers were still the same. Right? I actually blitzed a little bit different. I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to go really hard with this event, but after blitzing so much last week, got 51.5 million in the last iteration of the Blitz, right? 51.5 the last time. Didn't even get top 1%. I decided that this time around, I was not going to blitz that much. I got 51.5 million and only got 2 to 3%, got 55 shards. So in this time I did 17.37 million, as you can see up top over my head right here, and I got 45 shards. So significantly less work and only got 10 less shards, in my opinion, it's definitely a win in my book. I got to spend some more time with my family, got to spend some more time sleeping, things like that were valuable to my life. So I actually really appreciate it. But the numbers were still pretty high. Now, not the top one person wasn't at 100 million like the last time, but the top 100 cutoff was 67 million. I think the last time it was 69 million, right? Was the top 100 cutoff. And I couldn't help but feel bad for this particular individual right here. So he posted this. This is Perillius Potty. Listen, Perillius Potty, I feel you. I'm here with you, my guy, because I experienced this as well. I just collected 2 to 3% reward for the Ghost Spider Blitz. I did every single rotation, scored 53.24 million, and came rank 3170. My alliance mate just collected his 1% reward. He scored 53.4. Oh, I'm so sorry, my guy. I know how bad this feels, man. I know how bad this feels. I was there. I got 51.5 million in the last blitz, and then the top 1% cutoff was 52.7 mil, which essentially all I had to do was just do one more rotation or half a rotation, and I would have been able to get that top 1%. So I know how bad this feels, but I think what this highlights to me is just how I don't know. They gotta fix blitz somehow, right? It's just it's not evenly fared out, and there's a lot of players that are just getting to level 60 and then have to compete with players who are at the top end. So I feel like even if they did maybe arena, like how they did arena shards, blitz shards, I think probably would help, or separated by TCP somehow. I don't know. There's just got to be some sort of way where they can kind of just change it so that more players can get better rewards, or maybe this is working as intended, right? They want certain players to be able to get 100 shards while other players aren't able to get it. But I just think that if you're a competitive player, it kind of sucks if you're doing all 8 rotations and you're scoring this and then you're still not able to get the top 1%. So I definitely do feel for you, Perlius. I wish that they would do some changes where this is concerned as well. But Ghost Spider Blitz, that's going to be done. We have a new Blitz that's going to be going around on Thursday, which is going to be the Silver Surfer Blitz. So we got this here. This is going to be the Herald Blitz that's going to start on Thursday. So look in your Discords, Reddit, wherever for your Blitz prediction numbers. That should go out on Thursday. And the rewards for the Herald Blitz is going to be the Silver Surfer character shard. So I don't know, man. The way that I think about this is it's nice that you're doing a Silver Surfer Blitz. However, it's about time, man, that they start being. He's been out for a while, right? And yes, he was available in the raid milestones. I understand that, but that was a long period of time. His release method was a strike pass initially, and then offers, which is really not a release method if you consider strike. I don't know. I just don't like strike pass release methods. And then he was in the raid milestones. A lot of players, not every player was able to get to raid milestones, so that kind of sucks. He's not a farmable character, and I just think that this just highlights the issue with this game. The timeline for farmable characters in Marvel Strike Force, Moondragon is still not farmable, and it's fallen out of the meta. So she's still not even farmable yet, and that's just frustrating to me. There got to be more of a strict timeline on when characters when characters are first released, right? Whenever their offers get into the store, and then to when they become available in the game, like actually targetable. Like I can target getting those characters, because if you ask me, Deathpool, I can't specifically target getting Deathpool. I don't care what you want to say. Castro, I can't specifically target getting Castro. I don't care what you're saying, right? It's hard for me to do that because premium orbs have so many characters in them. I can't really target those characters. So I think it's about time that they actually come out with a solid schedule as to how they can make characters farmable. Now, I know sometimes things get a little funky because you got legendary releases, and then you have to make those characters available first before you make other characters available, even though those characters may have been released after or the characters were available. But there just has to be more of a timeline, 2 to 3 months. Hey, a character gets released in the store, and then a month and a half or 2.5 months after that, they're going to be available in a campaign. They're going to be available in a store for you can target getting those characters, because it feels bad when those characters that are not available then follow the meta and then you make them available. It's like, dude, when I could have used the shards a long time ago. It just feels bad. So those are my thoughts. I would like to see them make some changes, more campaign nodes, or shifting some of the older. There were some characters who are in some later game nodes, like Hela, who's in Villains Chapter 7.3 or 7.6, dude. Why is she there? Put some other characters there. Make Hela available earlier, even for some. This is a separate subject, but make a character like Hela available for earlier players who want to be able to get Black Bow at an earlier time frame. I don't know, man. I digress. I'm not gonna go off any more of a rant on this, but you get my point, man. There really need to be some more changes. Address the timeline of when characters become farmable. I think that's probably one of the bigger issues that I think in this game right now. I would like to see them make those changes where that is concerned. Next topic I want to talk about here are red stars. And this past weekend, I was shocked. So this data mine came out on Friday, which was Commander. There's a spider infestation in the red star orbs. For limited time, Spider-Man and Miles will have an increased drop rate of 7.5 in all red star orbs. Don't miss out on adding red stars to the Web Warriors. Now, this came out as a data mine. There was actually no in-game mail that actually said that this was going to happen. You pretty much basically just had to go to your red star, or you had to either see the data mine or just go into the game. So let's say you're a player that doesn't pay attention to Discord, doesn't watch YouTube, doesn't look at Reddit, doesn't look at any of those things, right? If you started to just pop open your red star orbs, you're going to start to realize, hey, I'm not getting these dark promo credits. I'm only these boosted promo credits. I thought XYZ character was out of it. So you're kind of like, hey, what in the world is going on here? So the communication on that, in my opinion, was poor. Like, you got to send out an in-game mail to say, hey, my guys, hey, people, players, we are going to be boosting these drop rates for Miles and Spidey. Now, largely, I'm okay with this because this is one of the things that I think that they should have done a long time ago. I think that there's a lot of older characters in this game, or there's characters in this game, right? Let's say that you weren't here for the Omega Red release. Now Omega Red is in red star orbs with every other character that's there. I think one of the things that they should do is that maybe every weekend or so, right? Or on select weekends throughout the month, they should boost the drop rates for some of the older characters. It doesn't have to be for 7 days. It doesn't have to be for 7 days. You can make it 3 days, right? You can make it 3 days from Friday to Monday. You get a boosted drop rate for some of these older characters that are in Marvel Strike Force so that you can get your red stars. Hey, we're going to boost the drop rate for Phoenix because you weren't here for Phoenix. We're going to boost the drop rates for some of these older characters that maybe you weren't here for, that are still a part of the relevant meta right now. That would be really, I think that would be a really nice touch for them, because of course we only want it to last 3 days too, because we want to be able to get our dark promo credits. So like right now, I'm a little upset because I can't get my dark promo credits because I really want to get my red stars on Doom, but I'm actually okay with them doing this for Miles and Spidey. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last for. I don't know if it's going to be 3 days. I don't know if it's going to be 7 days. If it's 7 days, I'm probably going to feel a little bad about it, right? Because then probably right after that, we're going to get T'Challa. We're going to have the boosted drop rate for T'Challa. So it doesn't really give me enough time to then get my elite fodders for me to be able to do so. But in regards to even elite red star orbs, I would really like to see them make some changes to take out some of those minions out of those elite orbs as well. That's one of the other changes that I would like to see them make in the game. So listen, I like that they're doing this. Would like to see them do this more consistently for other older characters that are in the game. I would like to see them do it like just for a 3-day rotation. I would also even like to see them take minions out of those elite red star orbs as well. That would actually be one of those things that I would like to see them do. Last couple topics I wanted to talk about here, where I want to talk about Avengers Tower. So they talked about the Avengers Tower updates here, and some things I think that they got right. So they mentioned how they're going to be doing a squad selector filter that hides characters who are in cooldown. So this is helpful, I guess, right? So if you're going in, you're trying to select and then make a team, you can filter out characters, and then I think this is going to filter out the characters that are on cooldown, and it'll give you the characters that are probably available to you, which is fine. I like that. I would like to see them also give you another tab in the save squad so that you can actually create tower teams. So this was actually one of the things that a lot of players were talking about. Like, man, it's really frustrating that this is pulling in my Blitz roster. I don't want my Blitz roster. If your Blitz roster is like mine, I have like Infinity Watch with Guardians or Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like I have the three. I mix up my Blitz team so I can get the most out of my points, right, when I'm going through rotation. So I don't have full on synergized teams per se. I just have teams that can get me higher points. So bringing it into your Blitz save squads is kind of annoying. So that's one of the things. Squad filter option is fine, but I think they definitely forgot about the fact that they also need to allow us to use other tabs there as well, so you can kind of cycle through teams. It'll be better than having to click change team and then go in and click. I'll just like that to be a change. They also talked about adding lower level floor. So that's actually a good thing, because there were a lot of players that felt really left out not being able to do Avengers Tower because the the first team that was available for you to fight was like 160K team, and then it kind of just got incrementally worse from there, right? So yeah, I like that they're adding the lower levels. I would also like to see them adjust the milestones too, so that they could also, so that players who are going through those lower levels will also, because some of the milestones that were the higher milestones, the rewards that you got for those didn't really benefit endgame players. They more benefited players that were playing earlier in the game, and they weren't able to get those rewards because they weren't able to get through all the milestones. So it's kind of like, well, this was the point of having those there. So I would like to see them also shift and adjust the milestones. So hoping that's something that they're going to remember to do as well and make some of those changes. If you're not, watch this. Point them to this video, point them to this specific section here so that they can hear what we're saying. And then they also talk about adding higher level floors for veteran players. I don't really care about the higher level floors. I guess in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, sure, it would be nice to have those higher level floors. I didn't really hear a lot of players talk about having higher level floors. I don't think that was really a thing a lot of them complained about. But I guess maybe some of those higher end players with maybe 25 million TCP up, they were like, hey, I'm bored now, I can't do anything. So maybe that was it. But I still think that Dormammu presents a challenge. So not quite sure how that will work out. But those are my thoughts. Squad selector, fine. No, give me some save squad tabs though, so that I can actually have a tower mode for that, and I can cycle through those teams instead of having to cycle through my Blitz teams in the actual tower mode. Change the visual of it too, because it just looks like Blitz. I don't like it. But in the lower levels, adjust the milestones, adjust the rewards of the milestones so that earlier players can also get those as well. But yeah, final topics for this week. I wanted to talk about here are they have a couple events going on. We got the Double Trouble event, which is a way for you to be able to get some additional training mats here. Training game bonus event. That's going to be going on tonight. 2 times the training module rewards from campaigns. So take advantage of that tonight. There's also the Storm Blitz. I forgot to mention that. There's a Storm Blitz tonight. So take advantage of getting some shards for her if you haven't done so already. And then we also have my favorite Flash event, which is Payday. That's coming this Friday. Going to be able to get some more gold here. I've been spending a lot of gold trying to build up my raid teams and some of these newer teams. So I am looking forward to getting that extra gold that's going to help me to boost my roster here. So that's pretty much it, guys, on the weekly headliner update. Want to know, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think that maybe they should do here for Avengers Tower mode that maybe they haven't mentioned already? Red stars, where are your thoughts towards red stars? Do you like this 3-day boost idea for some of the older characters? Are you kind of upset that you can't open up your red star orbs like I am right now to be able to get those dark promo credits? Blitz, I think that they need to do a lot of changes to Blitz here to make it a little bit more, give other players other options to be able to get 100 shards. Maybe doing arena rank or arena shard might help out there. Fresh Horizons, that's going to be ending. Take advantage of that. And Pocket Dimension, what were your final thoughts here on Pocket Dimension as we move forward? But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the links that are down below, guys. Patreon, Twitch, all that. Appreciate the heck out of you guys. And until next time, y'all be blessed. And y'all be safe. Deuces. Chalk it up. The deuces.